what are the true taxes of living in Canada? So here's the thing. I made a bunch of shorts like the last week or a couple weeks ago where I talked about different taxes that would be paid at different income levels, whether that's Alberta or BC. And I got a lot of comments saying like, yeah, but if you add, property tax and you add this other tax and you add this other tax, it would be another $10,000 or $15,000 more. And so that actually got me thinking, what is the true taxation of living in Canada for, let's just say, an average person? Now, I will say this. This was an incredibly complicated video to try and write because there's so many variables. There's so many provinces, of course, we have. There's so many different things you could buy. So it was nearly impossible for me to make a video trying to say what are the true taxes. However, I think I did a pretty good job. So by the end of this video, should have a good grasp of all the different taxes, not just income tax, but sales tax and cigarette tax and car, all this other stuff. Don't worry, we're going to get into it in this video. So so I think it's going to be a really fun video. I'm definitely going to have to read from my notes, but here's true taxes in Canada. What's up, guys? For those of you who do not know me, my name is Philip Setter. I'm the founder and CEO of Affinity Life, which is an online life insurance platform here in Canada, where we've helped hundreds of Canadians find the right life insurance coverage at the right price, all from the comfort of their own home. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'll put the link in the description below and you can check it out. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so I'm definitely going to have to read from my notes because there's so many like little details that are throughout this entire video. But I think it's going to be kind of interesting. So, okay, first of all, from a pure income level, we know that we have federal taxes that are due, and we know we have provincial taxes that are due. And if you're interested in that, I made another video about taxation here in Canada. So I'm not going to go over income tax because that's another lengthy topic. However, there's different brackets that you fall into, and depending on how much money you make, you're taxed more. So if you're interested in that video, just drop a comment below saying, true tax or not true taxation, pardon me, but taxation in Canada. And you can I'll send that one to you, pardon me, and you can check it out. But we have personal, okay? So that's personal income tax. We also have corporate income tax. Sure, I made another video. Drop a comment below. I'll send that to you. Let's get into the other types of taxes that we have here in Canada. So I would say one of the biggest ones is fuel tax. Now, by the way, I'm going to go through this list here. This is all from a provincial point of view because the taxes, of course, are different province to province. And it was incredibly complicated to try and find like, okay, which province has this? Which province has that? So this is all for Alberta. So it might be totally different wherever you are in Canada. If it's BC, Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, it might be totally different. Okay, so this is just Alberta. So the first one we're going to go over is fuel tax. So there is taxes on fuel. If you fill up your car, you put gas in it, there's going to be tax on that. So here it is. For gasoline, it's 19 cents a liter goes to fuel taxes in Alberta. For diesel, it's 13 cents a liter. And for, for the GST, because there's GST that actually gets paid upon the amount of fuel that you're purchasing. So if it's $100, you're going to be paid a tax on that. So not only is there a tax on the per liter, but there's a tax on the final amount. Now, in Alberta here, we have zero sales tax. And I feel like this is like a pitch for everyone to move to Alberta. It's not. We're one of the only provinces in Canada to have no sales tax. Every other province has a provincial sales tax, and then there's a federal sales tax known as GST. But in Alberta, we have zero sales tax. So this is going to be a little bit less. We only have a 5% GST tax on this fuel again as well. So there's a per liter amount, and then there's the GST that's paid on the final amount. Next one is tobacco tax. So tobacco tax, I'm just reading here, cigarettes, 27.5 cents per cigarette or tobacco stick. That actually seems quite high now that I read this here. Loose tobacco is 41.25 cents per gram. Smokeless tobacco, 27.5 cents per gram. Cigars, 142% of the taxable price of the cigar. Minimum tax per cigar, 27.5 cents. Maximum $8.61. So yeah, there's some taxes if you smoke. Tourism levy. This is interesting. 4% on the purchase price for temporary accommodation. So if you stay at a hotel, a motel, something like that, you're going to pay 4% on whatever that purchase price is. And that's a tourism levy. I didn't know about this one. And by the way, that actually leads me to one of my comments here is, I think I have all this right, but there was so many things to go through and it was incredibly complicated. So let me know in the comments what I missed, what I got wrong, because I'm 90% sure that I got something wrong. Let me know what I got wrong or what I missed. Okay, here we go. Property tax. This one's kind of interesting. So property taxes actually go towards funding the education. I actually didn't know that. So your property taxes directly, fund whatever school that is near you and whatever school your kids go to. So that's quite interesting. So property taxes, I put a complicated, depends on municipality and mill rate and year, and also if it's residential versus non-residential. So you pay property tax, how much that is. It was way too complicated to try and put, even for a province, so let alone for all of Canada, but there is property tax. One more, freehold mineral rights tax. So this is tax on revenue derived from minerals. So of course, here in Alberta, we have a ton of minerals, that get mined. So there is taxation upon that. The next one we have is tax on insurance. So this is interesting. For life, accident, and sickness insurance, there's a 3% tax that you pay. And for other insurance, there's a 4% tax you pay. So that's quite interesting, me being in the insurance industry. That's something to keep in mind. The next one is emergency 911 levy. So if you have a cell phone and you live in Alberta, I don't know about other provinces, there's a monthly fee for those cell phone users, and this contributes to the 911 emergency response, and it is 95 cents per month per phone. So keep that. I actually don't think I added that to my example. I will have to add that to my example. 95 cents, that's what, $1, that's $12. It adds up. Okay, no sales tax in Alberta. I said that before. We have no sales tax. We're the only province. Please keep it that way. I mean, not keep it that we're the only province, but keep it that we don't pay sales tax. Please don't introduce it. So that's on a provincial level. Now we'll go to a federal level. So with federal, the goods and service tax is 5% across Canada. Doesn't matter what province you're in. And that's a federal sales tax. And then of course you would have your provincial one as well. Now, with all that being said, there's a lot of things that are not taxed for sales tax. There's a list of exemptions, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but there's a pretty large list. It could be groceries, prescription, childcare. There's a bunch of things that actually do not have sales tax. So it's not like they charge sales tax on everything. I'll put the link in the description, and you can check this site out that has all the different exemptions, or whatever you want to call it, things that are not taxed. So they don't put sales tax on everything, although there's quite a bit that they put it on. All right, so let's get into an example of actually how this would work. So I put an example here. So an Albertan making $100,000 per year. They're living in a $600,000 house. They're driving a car to and from work. I think the car they're driving, and this is how far I had to get in. They're driving a Jeep Cherokee. I had to figure out the fuel economy of that. They're driving 20,000 kilometers a year just so I could kind of get the gas there. Now they have 2 kids. They do pay for some childcare. We are assuming that the wife is helping out with some bills, so we have that in there. So I put this here. Drives car 20,000 kilometers per year. It's a Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk, average of 10.71 liters per 100 kilometers. So I did get quite specific. So here's a breakdown. Okay, here we go. Income in Alberta is going to be $100,000. The federal taxes paid are going to be $14,694. The provincial taxes is going to be $7,573. So this is income tax now. CPP paid is $3,500. EI paid is $953, which I didn't include as taxes because CPP and EI, I don't consider taxes. You get a benefit. It is a pension that you're paying into, whether you agree with it or not agree with it. It's not a tax. You are getting it back. It is your pension that you have access to upon retirement. So I didn't include that as a tax. So total taxes, CPP and EI, however, paid all of this, $26,720. That gives us an average tax rate of 22.27%, with remaining amount of $73,280. I know what you're going to say. Wait a second, 22% of 100,000 is only 22 grand. That's just the taxes. Remember, pardon me, I'm not including CPP and EI. Okay, so let's go through a budget of this guy. This is monthly spending. The mortgage is going to be $2,750 per month that he's paying. Utilities, $400 a month. Groceries, $600 a month. Childcare, $350. And I know what you're saying, it's way more than that. I'm assuming that the wife or the partner is contributed and they're also putting half or, a little bit in as well. So I'm not doing the taxes of the partner. I'm doing one individual in a family. However, they have a partner that's helping out. Monthly car payment is $500. Gas is $250. Credit card is $350. Personal spending, gym, internet, cell phone, Netflix, dining, travel, entertainment, etc. $500 a month. So that gives us a total of $69,000 per year. And what did I say they had left over? $73,000. So not much left over at the end of the day, $4,000. But I mean, that seems congruent with a lot of the things that we have here in Canada. It's quite expensive nowadays to try and live with inflation. So yeah, that seems pretty fair. Okay. Let's talk about the taxes above and beyond income tax. So the property taxes for the home that's worth $600,000 here in Calgary, I pulled just a Calgary property tax assessment for that is going to be about $1,600. Let's talk about the fuel tax. Fuel tax, I assumed that for 20,000 kilometers, we're going to be buying 2,000 liters at 19 cents per. Remember, that's the tax that we have on that. That's going to be $380 in fuel tax. Now, remember, there's also GST on that as well. So the fuel GST tax, I'm assuming $1.20 average per liter in Alberta here. That's going to give us that tax of $120. That's the GST on that fuel tax. One thing that I forgot to put in here was, again, that $12 for that monthly 911 levy. I will add that at the end, don't worry. Utility sales tax. We are paying tax on the utilities that we have for our house. That's going to be $240. Car sales tax this is yearly, by the way. All of this is yearly. Car sales tax, $300. Personal spending sales tax, that's on that additional $500 per month. That's $300. And I will add that $12 at the very end. Now you're probably wondering, wait a second, he spent a little bit more. Yeah, a few things that are exempt, from this sales tax. So groceries are exempt and childcare is also exempt. So he's not paying sales tax on either groceries or childcare. And again, there's a list of some more things. You can check that out. So with all that being said, that gives us a total additional taxes paid above income tax, $2,940. I need to change that. That's $2,952 because of that 911 levy, which I'm going to add as well. So income tax is $22,267. That gives us total taxes paid, everything that I could think about in this video. And if I missed something, let me know, of $25,207 plus $12 for that 911 levy. So it was at $25,219. So what does that give you? An effective tax rate of 25% for someone making $100,000 a year and buying groceries and buying a car and driving all over the place and having childcare and having dine-in and having expenses, all this stuff. Okay, so what am I trying to say? No, it's not an additional $10,000 like some of the comments on my channel would make you believe. It's definitely something. It's roughly $3,000. However, it's definitely not as bad as I thought it was going to be. $3,000 is still a little bit to spend above and beyond the $22,000 that we're already paying in income tax. However, it's a far cry from the $10,000 that some people would make you believe. So with all that being said, let me know in the comments which one you guys didn't know about, which ones I forgot about, any other questions that you want to have. And if you guys are enjoying this content, all I ask is that you give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in the next one.